In the year 2006, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion was released on Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. It was not only a commercial success, but received nearly universal praise from critics. At the time, the graphics were more than cutting edge, and came to the world with views and ideas that didn't just shake up the Elder Scrolls series, but gaming itself. It is in so many ways a hallmark in the development of video games. I'm Falcon, and today on gameranx, we're going to delve into exactly why the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is so great. The game's predecessor, The Elder Scrolls Morrowind, was a huge game in every respect, but Oblivion did something different. Without actually removing things, it very much wanted to simplify the ideas that make a game an RPG. In Morrowind, you had to slowly travel around the entire world, whereas in Oblivion, they had fast travel. In my opinion, this is probably one of the biggest things that made Oblivion so good, because certainly the first time around, you definitely do want to see everything. But I mentioned that so early in this video, because truly, this was quite an innovation at the time. All of the reviews of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion were putting fast travel in quotes. You have to remember, open world games, there were only a select few of them at this time, and Oblivion itself was an incredibly huge innovator. Certainly the idea for warps wasn't a new idea in video games, but implementing it in a way that didn't seem really that out of place, calling it fast travel, having time pass while you do it, just acting as a means for the player not to have to experience a long walk, it was a big difference. And it made a big difference. It brought a lot of people in. And once they got in, Oblivion was gorgeous. The world of Cyrodiil is breathtaking. It's a place that was unparalleled at the time, a true fantasy environment that captured exactly what you had been thinking when you read all of those fantasy novels your entire childhood. This was it. It had such a distinct and beautiful, not only environment, but architecture. You can screenshot just about any place in the game, post it somewhere, and someone will recognize it. Go ahead, post a picture of Battlehorn Castle on Facebook if you've got some gamer friends. It's not even the biggest castle in the game, but I promise you, you'll get a response. And whether it's the biggest castle or the smallest tavern, it's populated with people. NPCs that follow a schedule, have lives, do different things at different times of the day, actually seem to have an existence of their own. And although it was limited by the technology at the time, it was far and beyond what other games could do. And this beautiful, highly populated world was made possible by, like I said, cutting-edge technology, incorporating specular mapping and high dynamic range rendering. These are things that just weren't as commonplace at the time as they are now, and fleshed out an experience with visuals that backed up exactly how amazing and fantastical this place was. Oblivion also had arguably the most pressing story, the most immediately important consequences, and a much more tangible need to succeed at your quest, in that Oblivion was a realm not unlike Hell that was starting to bleed into the land of Cyrodiil. The quest had significantly more meaning on its own. Certainly, the lore of Morrowind was very in-depth and rich, but the need to progress was not always as immediate. Oblivion was a realm that the name described itself so perfectly well. If Oblivion seeped into our world, all would be lost. And when you feel the measurable, consequential idea that all could be lost, there's much more motive to continue, and not just get distracted by the radiant AI, the NPCs making their various choices going on with their lives. Certainly, that's fun, it's interesting, and it's important. It's part of why this game is so great, but on top of that, all of those people remind you there's something to save, and saving it was a joy. Oh, it was just so fun to get knee-deep in such an awesome battle system, which could be played as an FPS or a third-person action-adventure game, and gave you so much flexibility. Essentially, not just creating your character's appearance from scratch, but literally everything about their fighting style, everything about their powers, just being able to construct your ideal fighter in the battle against this massive entity. From the surprise assassination of a sympathetic emperor to the depths of Oblivion itself. This amazing game was full of so many surprises, such incredibly interesting and rich narratives, and some of the most beautiful music you've ever heard in a game. Oblivion isn't great for any specific reason, but great because of everything about it. It's a game that's much more than the sum of its parts, and progressed the art of the game to a new level. Obviously, this trend continued with the following installments of the Elder Scrolls and also the Fallout games, and a lot of the norms that exist in the open world genre exist because of Oblivion. What was your favorite thing about Oblivion? Let's meet in the comments. I'm extremely interested to hear. If you're not already subscribed, I would say you should definitely do that. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is a subscription. As always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter @FalconTheHero, and we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.